This is our new boat, a Schöchel Sunbeam 25. It has been standing unused in a barn for the last 20 years. And now we are trying to get it ready in 7 weeks. Actually, we only want to look at some boats to see which one would be the right one for us. But when we saw this boat, we agreed that this was the kind of boat we are looking for. So we decided to buy it.
Nee, ich fühle mich wie in so einem Unpacking-Video, wo irgendjemand so gebrauchte Pakete bei Amazon gekauft hat oder so und ich weiß, was da rauskommt. Was ist das?
Handschuhe.
Gloves, sailing gloves.
Die sind fancy, die würde ich nochmal behalten.
I had some as a child, they had a similar color.
Ganz viele Flaggen.
Unfortunately, the vehicle inspection of the trailer was expired. And so we could make it in time. We had to do the first jobs at the boat, which means we had to drive about 120 kilometers each time. One of the first things we did was to check out what accessoires were included with the boat. Another important point for us was to determine the exact weight of the boat, to see what we can still attach to our car.
Manchmal noch andere Sachen benutzen.
To do this, we weighted the entire inventory individually and subtracted it from the total weight known to us. A special feature of the boat is that the keel consists of 8 removable segments, and we removed them and weighed them individually. And the good result of the weighting was that we were allowed to tow the boat with our van if the keel was removed. Because we had to replace the whole running gear, I take the boom with me and spliced some new lines for it. And I also spliced new halyards to take them with me the next time I go to the boat and just add them to the mast. Yesterday I finally signed the purchase contract for the Sunbeam 25. But unfortunately we didn't get a positive vehicle inspection at the first time, because the trailer's brakes were pulling with different strength. And we're just looking at how we are going to handle this, but we'll probably hire a workshop because it's always a long way. But yesterday I was able to take home all the accessoires that came with the boat, and I wanted to take a look through them today and show you what accessoires are all there, and then maybe I will have a look what we can still use, and maybe then some of the discontent that we couldn't take the boat yesterday will disappear, and we still stay optimistic that we will manage it to get the boat ready in the next 4 weeks. Yes, so with the boat there came 3 engines. This one is a 15 HP Evinrude, a 2-stroke engine, and then there is this one. It's I think a Johnson. I'm not sure because it's painted all in white. And this one is also 2-stroke and have about 8 or 7.5 HP. And now I want to have a look if they are running or if they even start. Of course, it's not that great for the impeller if it is run dry, but the motors were dry for the last 20 years, and I think I have to change the impellers so or so. and if the impeller breaks, it probably wouldn't have lasted much longer anyway. And this is how we are going to do it. There's the hose and there's the pump, and over there is the gasoline, and now I'm going to pump some of the gasoline in the carburetor, and then we will try to start the engine. And the other two engines, the 7.5 HP and this one, the little 2 HP engine, started quite well even after 20 years of inactivity. Afterwards I changed the gear oil and measured the impellers so I could order some new ones. Welcome to the first Okapi-Sailing unboxing video, and at first we are going to unbox this mysterious cardboard with mysterious content.
Als erstes haben wir hier einen Autopiloten.
What was included above all were anchors, and even more anchors. So there's the first one, and behind there are some more anchors. At least there came so many parts with the boat. There were spare parts, small parts, and even a lot of parts I do not know what they were used for, that it took us a long time to go through them all. Good morning, I'm at the boat again. I didn't feel like filming yesterday, but I managed it to install the new halyards in the mast. It was a nasty job, but it worked out quite well in the end. In the next step I want to try the pop-up roof, and later I want to install the VHF wire in the cabin. At the beginning the pop-up roof was a little bit jammed, and I thought at this time that it would not be that useful, but I really changed my mind about this later. And after installing the VHF wire, I went home because the engine spare parts arrived. In the afternoon I installed the new impellers, and I also organized the rain barrels, so I was able to try the engines in the water. My first change of impellers seems to work. Today was really exciting, but finally we managed it to get a positive vehicle inspection for the trailer. After I changed a lot of the braking parts and adjusting the brake, it looked a little bit bad at the first attempt. But after driving a few kilometers and braking a lot, the second attempt was positive and we get a positive vehicle inspection. And I'm very glad now, and now the boat is at home. It is standing right in front of our door, and so we can really start working now. Yes, that's it. For checking up and cleaning, I lowered the mast even the same evening, which was a little bit difficult alone, but I managed it. I also moved the fabric of the pop-up roof and the curtains for cleaning them too. And I put the curtains into the washing machine, which was really bad in the end because they dissolved nearly complete inside. Today we want to take care of a very unpleasant matter. I tried to ignore long time, but it did not work anymore. So if you look at this, there are some cracks in the hull. They are only outside. Inside looks very fine. There are a lot of layers of fiberglass. Don't get me wrong, it do not look like some kind of repair, but it looked like this is the way the boat was originally built. I can only deduce that the crack is somehow connected to the support, that the boat crashed into it or rocked into it. However, I will try to make it better. My plan is to lift the boat a little bit by lifting it evenly with the supports and at the same time supporting the keel, so that the weight of the boat continues to be on the keel and not on the supports. And then I will remove the box so I can slide this support a little bit to the back, and the whole work will be controlled, of course, by the supervisor over there. So I made some space over here and moved the support forward and put a wedge under the keel, and now I can start working, and I want to send the whole thing in one place so I get a better impression of the issue. So I have sanded this all over here, and there you can see the rest of the crack where the layers of the glass are not connected. And now I will sand the hull on the other side the same way too and laminate it over the edge here. And yeah, I thought at first that the crack is because of the support, but I'm really not sure anymore. But I think I will make it a little bit better by adding some kind of strap. I'm currently taking a short break from the crack repair and manually work on the keel joint. So there is silicon inside, and silicon is not the best possible thing for this because it's not that resistant as other things, and you also see that it's a little bit corroded here, the keel. So at first I will clean it up from the silicon and with a wire brush clean it up from the corroded iron as good as possible, and then I will paint it with special color and put new sealant inside. The best way, of course, would be to remove the keel for this job, but the keel bolts are over-laminated from inside, so that's not possible. And another working day is coming to an end. My epoxy stuff have not arrived yet, so I could not finish this job, but I finished another nasty job. I removed all the corrosion from the keel and from the keel segments too, and I painted them all new. I cleaned up the whole keel joint and painted it too, and when the paint is dry, I can seal up the joint. Yeah. Yeah, it's another day and I'm still waiting for my epoxy and the glass fiber and so on, so I can finish the job at the hull. And it's so annoying because shipping with DHL always worked quite well, but now it seems like it's not working anymore. But I didn't sit around, I carried on. I have done some electric works, for example these plugs here. I have to hide the wires there and connected this all to my electric corner down here, and I tried it and it works quite well. I'm satisfied with this, and I still have to remove the old boat name and the red stripe, so I think I won't get bored anytime soon. Removing the old boat name and the red stripe was a very laborious job. It was very easy to remove the superficial parts, but the adhesive residue was very strong, and I had to use some chemicals to remove them at all. And in the afternoon there was a big surprise. A great day! After nearly a week my stuff has arrived, and among other things there is the new boat name and the new identification number. I had to hire a new company for printing the labels because the first one couldn't get it done and didn't respond anymore, so yeah, let's have a look if it fits. It fits. Another important point for us was that we set all the sails once to see how it works and what it looks like.
Twilight, she is restless, neither she or I can find. Gonna cross the border in the middle of the night.
Seeing the boat the first time on the sails was really good and gave us a big motivation boost for the remaining work.
In Mexico, I hear your heart is racing like a jet across the sky. So drink another whiskey with a cigarette beside. I don't know why, You've always been my girl. We're going to Mexico.
The worst jobs, the dusty and dirty ones, the ones with lots of chemicals, are now all done, and as a reward we can celebrate a small milestone today and put the new boat name on it.
Ich würde es noch ein Stück nach rechts.
Hier?
Ja, besser.
So?
Ja.
Tada!
Ja.
Ja, das neue Boot.
So I have done this now. I didn't film because I just started and wanted to finish it as fast as possible. I laminated it with epoxy and with the glass fiber, and these ones too, and it's very fine. I'm not sure if I said it before, but all in all it wasn't that bad as it had looked before, and I will want to sand it one more time so I can paint it as soon as possible. It will look completely ugly because I painted white, but that will remain the case for now. Today is Sunday. Dirt on the lens, and Magali is working on boat stuff too, so let's have a look. I vacuum the covers so we can put these cleaning foam on again with these beautiful car cleaning glove, the best invention that Chivo ever had, and then we put them up there in the sun so they can dry up, and later, if the foam is dry, we vacuum the covers again, and then we hope that the stench of the last 20 years goes away. We are now entering the hot phase, and I am very satisfied so far. Everything looks very good. Inside it is also more homely again. We have treated the upholstery again with the foam, and I hope I can vacuum it again afterwards. This is the repaired area, and everything looks fine. Of course, it's a little bit ugly, and maybe it's not that professional, but I'm sure that it will work so far. And it's important that the epoxy is painted, because it's not that UV resistant at all, even if it's most of the time in the water, but I think that's okay for now. And now I can also seal the keel joint. Renewing the keel joint was an easy job, but I was very glad that I had enough of the sealant, because ordering new one would have been too late. Today I want to hoist down the mast, and then I have to renew some of the wiring inside the mast. Then I still have some splice work to do. and the larger necessary work has resurfaced. There is one valve of the tire blown out, and even though the tires look almost new, they are already 20 years old, and upon closer inspection deep cracks in the profile appeared, and so we had to replace the 5 or the 4 tires. Because in my opinion it is actually totally avoidable that we end up missing the ferry because of some shit like this. And of course, even more important, that we are safe on the road. Yesterday I have done some cleaning jobs in the boat, and I have replaced some parts, and what I have done most of all was because the curtains were completely destroyed in the washing machine. I have made some new fabrics, these ones here, and sewing is almost a little bit like painting something. The most time you will spend the most time for the preparations, and the actual work, so sewing or painting, is in the end done very fast.
Heften wir das mal zusammen.
So, as you know, we lost one of the valves at the tire, so we had to replace all 4 tires in the end, because they were cracked, and I have the new tires now, and I needed some tires to put on the axles in this time, so I take every tire I could find around. So that's some kind of mixed tires, but I took them mostly from my other trailer, and this one is hanging in the air now. But however, we made it, the boat is ready and the trailer is ready, and so we are going to Sweden, but this is the next episode. So I hope you liked the video, and if you liked, then please subscribe and stay tuned.